Look at a third shapeshifter of the same thing.
Ooh.
Look,
Allie.
3. Stair lights 2.
No.
Where'd my icon go? Where'd my icon go?
There's no icon.
All right, welcome to Oops, We Did It Again. This is a channel all about UX fails that are breaking some really fundamental principles of intuitive design. So we're going to be looking at some of the biggest companies and exposing some of the most frustrating experiences. And I've got a great gem of a product for you, Sophia, in this one.
Yay.
But first, if you are not familiar with OOUX, OOUX is short for Object-Oriented User Experience, which is a philosophy for designing digital systems that respect the fact that people think in objects. So welcome, and we want to dive right in.
Yeah, what'd you bring me today?
I brought you, okay, so this is an experience. This is something I use. And this is Amazon's Alexa app.
Oh.
Oof.
I switched to Google Home a while ago, but I have memories.
I would love to
Nightmarish
compare.
memories of that app.
It is terrible, and it has not improved. I've used it for years. So this is an app, if you're not familiar, it connects like your smart home devices, like your smart lights and your cameras, if you've got them, and your TVs and your Alexas all together and organizes them. And I have so many things to say, but particularly I found so many UX fails in it. And I want to see if you can spot those, which I'm sure you will, Sophia.
Yes,
but let's
pick it apart.
Let's look at that. All right. So let me share.
Was there one, like, do you feel like this fits into one of the categories, or it's just like it's hitting on all four of our fails, of our main fails?
I want to say it's all four.
We gotta grab.
There's
that.
no. Oh, you know what? I need you to see if there's a broken.
Okay.
Broken is the only one that didn't show up for me, but not to say it's not there because.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if we could find a shapeshifter, a masked object, a broken object, and an isolated object all in one app, because often they do. They'll like overlap with each other and they compound when that happens. Like one shapeshifter, no big deal. But like when in the same object is shapeshifting sometimes and masking sometimes and also isolated and also broken, like, yeah, it just compounds. It just gets exponentially worse as you layer on these unintuitive objects. So...
And yeah, and that's what I feel like as someone just using this product, that's what's been my experience of. It is just all over. Like I dread opening and adding a new light ever. Okay, so we are looking at the home screen. So I'm just going to walk you through what we're seeing here. Okay, so
you have a lot of favorites. There's favorites.
A lot of favorites, which truly, what is a favorite? Okay. Is it a camera, a light, a plug? That is my first question. Or what are these favorite things here? I mean, what is kitty cam? It kind of looks different, but okay, we're seeing a lot of things that look the same in the same little boxes.
And I'm seeing those icons. Like there's like a light and then there's like the
yes.
2 light icon. Like,
yes.
Okay.
Which kind of matches up here at the top. Like first at the top, you see camera, lights, and plugs.
Okay. All right, cool. So you can do a little bit of matching there. It's almost like a key at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, actually, let me see if I click on that. Okay. So this took me now to all of my lights that I have.
Okay.
And what are these? Okay, basement there. Now, that's actually what they call a group in this app. So let me go back here.
So basement is an instance of a group.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So hence the 2 little lights. It's a group. Okay.
Yes, it's a group. Because down here, look at living room, basement, lights. Yeah.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that, okay, I'm going to go in the navigation, devices at the bottom, because I just want to show you the groups at the top there.
Okay.
Look at those. Basement, bedroom, right? Okay. But look at those nice little icons there that they tell me what those things are. Okay. And then I can see all of them. So this is now I'm looking at a group.
Okay.
Okay. And there's different types of things here, right?
And the first thing that I noticed is the icon didn't come over. So like
Yes.
you're not just, and which
Yes.
is a really great like extra consistency thing. Like if you have the icon on the card, like bring like really anything you have on the card, bring it over into the detail. There's no reason something should be on the like the little view and not
Yeah.
on the big view. And it just helps have that continuity. Like I'm still in the same place. I'm in the same thing.
Yep. Did you see any other shape shifting on this page here?
Well, I mean, I see that like the devices below, I guess those are plugs that are
Hmm.
in that group. And I think that they look different when you see them on favorites. Is that true?
Yes, yes. Well, and this is just the like device listing, all of my devices. But if I
Oh.
go back to home, here we're like, here's a Studio Desk A is a plug. And look, it's even a different plug
Oh.
icon. Like,
No.
oh, oh, rate it. Yeah, I
No.
know, really.
We don't have time for that right now. One sec.
So, like, Studio Desk A there has a plug. So let me go back to devices. Look at that plug's like filled in. What is up with
Oh,
that? Is that a
and this
different
is so
plug?
interesting. So when you have those icons changing, right? A lot of people won't consciously notice, but sometimes unconsciously they will, and it creates this open loop, this thing called the Zeigarnik effect, where you actually have an open loop. And whenever we have these open loops, it basically is like a program running in the back of the mind, and it's cognitive load just like building up in the mind because you have all of these loops. So you're like part of your brain is like, is there meaning in that being different? The filled in plug versus the white, like the white unfilled in plug. I think it even had like the little dot
Yes.
below it too. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
completely different icons. So you kind of start to attribute meaning because in the real world, like when two things look different, usually there is meaning to that. It's not completely arbitrary. And this is a case where like, why is it? Yeah. You wonder, like,
Why?
does it mean anything or does it not mean anything? And even if that is like
Well,
the
like,
very back of the brain.
and these other icons do have meaning. Like this one's blue on stairs lights too. Don't judge me on these names,
Okay.
but that one's blue. So that has, it's
This is
on.
on. Okay.
And this other one, if I go up, there's living room lights. That one has two. So it's like these icons do, in some instances, have meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But over in devices, okay, at least the blue one is still on.
Okay.
But why did they change?
And can you turn them on
Why
and
do they
off
look
right there
different?
in both of those
Oh,
areas? Okay.
yes. Oh, good. You're looking for a broken. Nope. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
turn
But
them on and off.
actually, the CTA looks a little bit different. The way that it's like contained in the
Mhm.
CTA. So even the on off, we have like a shape shifting
Oh,
UI there, right? With like even how on is being shown. This is a design system thing too. This isn't just like for cognitive load. This is actually like somebody designed this twice. Like there's literally two versions
yeah.
of this on and off button for absolutely no reason.
Oh, like, why? It's confusing
Yeah.
me. When I go here, I have to relearn
Yep.
this. And if I go into then, okay, so let's go say I go into basement. Now look at a third shapeshifter of the same thing.
Ooh.
Look, three. Stair
Allie.
lights two.
No.
Where'd my icon go? Where'd
There's
my
no
icon
icon.
go?
There's no icon.
It's not blue
It's not
even.
even
It's not
blue.
even blue
And the
anymore.
on, yeah, the on and off is totally different. And then, ooh, and what like lights?
Hmm.
Like you could have a group on and off. So can you turn everything on and off?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yep.
that's
I
kind of
could
that's what
turn.
I would
I hope my husband's
expect.
in the basement
Wait,
as
why
I'm
is
changing
the?
all of these.
Oh, okay. So you can at the top go. Okay, there's like a little bit of a lag there or something, but I think that it's like turning
It
everything
might
on and off.
be.
Okay.
It's turning, yeah, that top one next to on the right of lights, that one I'm clicking and it's turning everything off.
Is Kenneth
But
like
some of
somewhere in the
these,
house being like, what is going on
yeah,
here? There's a
I didn't
ghost
even
in the
tell him I
house.
was looking at this. I might get a knock on my door. What are you doing? Yeah. So, and again, like, look, I go to cameras and I lose that icon. It's not clear that,
Okay. So definitely some major shape shifting, even down to the shape shifting of the CTAs. Um,
yes.
okay. All right. No good.
Okay. Yes.
What else do we have?
Now, okay, we did some shape shifting. Um, we had some masking on the home. So back here, like these are all different things, but they're looking the same.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
this is a camera now, and I would consider these to be significantly different things because when I click on Kitty Cam, so this is our camera that looks at our automatic cat feeder, so I make sure they're eating. This is like a different detail page here.
Hmm.
Then if I went into a light, let me go to basement lights. Oh boy,
And you
wait.
just turned them
Um,
all off.
Oh, that's interesting. You're right. If I click, okay, that's gross. If I click on basement lights, it acts like an on off. But if I click on kitty cam, it takes me to the detail page.
Oh, okay. So this is again, like
Mm,
you can't really use any muscle memory. You have to remember that. You
mm-mm,
have to remember that, like,
mm-hmm.
that's how you get to the detail page. So how did you have to do three little dots to go to the detail page for your
Ye-
lights?
Oh, so this went to, yeah, because that was basement lights. So that's a group.
So it go. So
So
that's what
here's
the
the
three little
detail
dots does.
page. Yeah, it
Oh my
just
gosh,
takes
we've
you
got to
to,
figure
yeah.
out a good app so that you can we can see touch points. like,
Yes. Oh, you're
even
right. You can't
yeah, the
see.
last recording that we
Yeah.
did, we had to manually add the touch points. So hopefully you're seeing
Oh,
touch points right now because um Luke or Allie figured out how to add it in post production, so we can see what you're actually clicking on. But
well, we're going to improve this as
we'll
we
work on
go. We'll
that.
make it better. We're going to improve on our experience
Let
of
us
this
know
YouTube
in the
channel. Don't you worry.
comments if you know how to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Please, let's crowdsource this. Okay, so I want to also look at Echo Kitchen on the bottom. There is, I'll scroll up. That's a different thing. That's one of my Alexas in the kitchen. So if I click on that, I get to this detail page. So different things I can do to this.
Okay.
So that makes sense to me, but they look the same over here. Other than the
Yeah.
icon, I think we can improve that, Sophia.
Yeah.
Like we've seen this so many times where it's like on a home screen, there's a group of different objects, but they look so similar. They're designed so similar. And in this case, you can even take different actions on
And
them.
I so what I think is happening here, and I definitely want to play with this, is we have different objects, but they're being treated as the same object because they're being treated as favorites. Or like the Spotify, which we'll do
Mm,
Spotify one day, but like the Spotify home screen where you see all those masked objects that we talk about in the course, um, like those I guess are all recents, right? I think they're
yeah.
recents, right? So those are all your recents. Or I've seen this on LinkedIn. LinkedIn used to have a module for recommended, and it was like all your recommended, but it could be a recommended group, it could be a recommended company, it could be a recommended person, and they all looked exactly the same. Like Tag was one of them too. I talk about that one. They got rid of it. They don't use that card anymore because it's just like a rec. So it's almost like I've called these shell objects before, where it's like
Mm,
the
uh-huh.
thing like right now, like somebody doing OOUX who might just be getting started in OOUX be like, oh, favorites is an object, which you and I probably be like, favorites is not an object. Favorites is a status on different objects, and you might want to group them together. But like, how do we group together things of the same shared status, like recent or recommended or favorites, and like not make it look visually junky, right? But also make them look different. And I think that that is the challenge here that like I'm not seeing anybody do really very well.
No, I haven't seen it either. And yeah, that we're going to crack
Yeah.
that one. We're going to play. All right, there's one more piece I want to show you here.
Like, wait, is that a
Now,
playlist? Is one of your favorites a playlist? 2024 spring run?
exactly.
It's
It
a
is.
playlist.
Yes, that is a playlist of mine. Why is it here? Why is it at the top? Let's see. If I click in,
Why is it? Did
oh,
you
I
add
can
it
play
there?
that playlist. No. Mm-mm.
It just says,
Can you
oh,
imagine me going into this app and adding
did
that?
you?
No.
Oh, wait. You don't even know. So, does some things
I
do you
hate this app.
actually favorite it, or is this like
No, I've never
you've
favorited
never
anything.
favorited
So this is like
anything? This
a
is
no,
based on how
no.
often you use it, and I'm guessing that that list changes too. So stuff is not always in the
Yeah.
same place, similar to that Spotify home screen where like nothing is in the same place. I can't use any muscle memory because it's always changing.
And it looks like I can edit this. I've never in my life done this. Add
Oh,
favorite.
okay.
Okay, so I can star different things
So how do you
and
can
they
you
group them here.
I think I might have found a broken object on the
Yes.
home screen where we have our list of favorites. Oh, a different view of
Uh-huh.
favorites as well, where there's different icons. How do you
Yep.
unfavorite?
That was
Oh,
this
you have an
edit.
edit. Are you clicking on that edit button?
There's an edit.
Okay.
Yes, I clicked on that right
So
next to
that
favorites,
is,
that
I
edit
would call
button.
that a broken object that like you have to like edit the group to edit the thing. I don't love that pattern where like, going back to Spotify, Spotify used to do this too. They've improved it a little bit, but like honestly, not everywhere. Where to remove a song from a playlist, you had to click edit playlist like at the very top, and then it would
Oof.
give you the ability to remove. You couldn't just touch the
So I'm
song.
not it's the song. I
Yeah.
want to touch
And
the
so
song.
if
Like that's the
and
thing
if
I'm
I'm
editing
listening
and
to a
removing.
song and I'm like 200 songs down, I
Yeah.
literally have to go back up and then find it in the list again. So
Is
it's
that
not
the
this like
same
this
as
kind of like direct manipulation once removed, because it's like the way that I say this is like the way that I've said this in the past is like editing. It's like grabbing the basket to edit something inside of the basket. What were you gonna say, Allie?
well, I remember just recently I wanted to change the order of these songs. And I also like, well, I guess that would make sense. The playlist edit. I know we have to do a Spotify
Yeah.
one. This is a tease, honestly, at this
Yeah.
point. Okay.
Yeah.
So I can
But
move
that's
them
like this
there.
once
Okay. And I could
removed,
delete them
like you
there.
editing the container to edit the things in the container, maybe changing the order, but I gotta just long press and start dragging them around. Why not? As long
Agreed.
as you don't
Okay.
make
Let
it
me go
easy
back
to
to
make
where
a
we were.
mistake in there. But yeah, okay. All right, focus. Shiny objects. Spotify might be
There's
next.
just so many problems with things. Yes, please. Okay. So the other piece I want to show. Okay. So let me get into,
Hang on a
let's say
second.
I do
Go back
have,
to edit
oh,
your
yes.
favorites, because is that another
Yes.
shapeshifter? Okay, we've got the
Yeah.
same
This one
icons.
actually, but not on, like, this
But
is what I would want to have seen on the detail or on the group
yeah,
page. I don't see
yeah.
that.
And
And
then
then we have a
like
different,
the fact that you can star, you have to go there to star it. You can't unstar it from the other screen. That could be a little bit of a visual
no.
clutter, but like long can you long press any of these?
Oh, great question. I'm trying. Nope.
No long.
Mm-mm. Oh, oh, okay. I just long press this, which is a light I have under my kitchen cabinet. I can create a routine.
So this is a
I have a
great place.
big
This would be a
button.
great place for the star. You know, like anything
Yeah.
like to make it more directly manipulable. So I would say that is like that kind of, we need a good word for that. That like once removed broken object, like you can still favorite it, but you have to like go through a hoop to favorite or
It's not a
unfavorite it.
priority. You're not favoriting and unfavoriting like every time you open the app. So it's okay that it's not on the card level, but like second removed would
Yes.
be.
So there's like having it
Yeah.
on the card versus the detail, which is what we're talking about here. Like, okay, maybe it's not on the card, but put it
Oh,
on that detail with that long press. Or even
here's
here,
the
it's not
actual
here.
detail. And look at it's
It's
not
not here
here.
either. You
No.
have to go to this one little place where you edit a list of
Mhm.
favorites to star and unstar. Like, there's our broken object right there. Found
There it
it.
is. Well, and I was just looking at this too. How do I know what group this belongs to? I know this isn't a group.
Is that an isolated object right there?
It
Because groups have
is.
devices in them. And so I'm looking at a detail of a device, right?
A light. Yeah, it's actually,
What
ooh, is
is
it a
it?
plug? It's
Because
a
there's no
plug.
icon.
What is it? You're
There's no
right.
icon.
There's no,
Type.
oh, it says type light.
Ah!
Okay. Where'd my icons go? Help me. I know. I told you this is gonna.
Why did they put the icon? Okay, so we lost the icon again. We have type, but you could change the type. And so I get it here because now it's editable, right? You can change it from a light to a plug, but I would almost expect like also to have those icons right there, the light and plug icon right there under where you're selecting type.
Yes. Well, let me look at a different one really quick. Okay, so if I go to, this is, okay, let me go to my devices. We know that living room, I thought living room was a group, but maybe I just didn't name this. Okay, it's a light, type light. Oh, but I can't click. Oh, this one I can't change type.
Hmm.
I can't click on
And
that
this
type
isn't a
there.
group, and we
Oops.
have no idea what group it's in right now.
I have no idea what
So
group
how do
it's
you
in.
move a group? How do you change it from one group to another group?
Great question. Great question. Because this is what I normally come in this app to do is to like regroup things or I've added something new. I
Yes.
have to
Or
go
like
over
you
here to
take a plug
more
and
at
you
the
like move
bottom.
it to another room, which you could be doing
Yeah.
like just because you have a guest or something, you might want to do that. Like
Yes. All
we
the
move stuff
time.
around. Okay. So how do you how do you
So
do that?
sorry. I have to go to devices. I have to go find my groups at the top
Okay.
there. I click that little blue see all on the right hand side.
Okay.
Then I go into my group. So let's say basement. We'll
Okay. So
just
we have
keep
another
messing with
shapeshifter
Kenneth
there
here.
with groups looking different. All right.
Uh-huh. So then I have to go into edit. And then I have to get to see the list of all the devices I can add or remove.
Okay. So that is isolated object for sure. And that is like the
Major.
main, I would say, like, is that the main relationship, right? So an isolated object is basically when we didn't define broken object. We're going to get better at this, defining the things as we talk about them. An isolated object is when we have a relationship in the mental model that is not reflected in the application. So obviously, I'm guessing like you're the user of this app. Would you say in your mental model you have devices and you've grouped those devices in some way,
I've grouped
often by
them.
room?
Yes.
Yes.
Which yeah, they're always by
They're
room.
always by room. Is there
Which
ever a use case to not have a group?
maybe if I had multiple houses and I'm managing,
Yeah.
but like, I think if I go,
It's probably fine that they call them groups and not rooms, just to make it a little bit more extensible.
Mhm.
So if somebody does have a use case where it's not a room, okay. But in your
Yes,
head it's like we've got groups and it's basically
because
room.
I could group things in the same room. Like
Yeah.
I could say, this is the lights in my dining room and these are the lights in my living room, even though those are technically like connected. There's one big
Yeah.
room. And so I might want to like separate those. So groups, okay, I'm fine with groups
Okay.
as a
So,
word.
but we have this really clear relationship, devices, and they're in groups. And can a device be in more than one group? What's
Ooh,
our
let's
cardinality
see.
here? Girl, what's
If
that
I go in the
cardinality?
bedroom, okay, I'm going to add, I know a basement. Where'd my basement light go? Oh gosh, sorry if I'm making nauseous. Okay, yeah, basement LED.
Okay.
Okay.
Did it get
And then
did
if
it
I
get kicked
go,
out of the other group?
yeah, let's go see. So now I have, oh, okay, great. Thank you. It's ready to use. So now if I go into basement,
Edit. Right.
hmm, yeah, I was wondering if it was in there. Oh, I don't, oh no, it is. It's basement
Doesn't.
LED. Oh, and it shows, it says bedroom and basement.
Okay.
You see under it?
Cool. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. So we do have this many to many relationship there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. But connecting in that relationship is they're just totally isolated from each other. You have to go to this and then going, you can't do it from the device. It looks like at all. From the device, you
No.
can't add it to a group, which is actually much more intuitive. Like I don't if I want
Yes.
to like add this mug, cute little mug, to like a category and like in a shelf or something like that. I grab it and I place it in the category.
Yes.
I don't take the category and move it
That's what this
into the
experience is. It's
mug.
like go to the group
And
and then
yeah,
add
you
it.
got
But
to
I'm like,
go get inside the
no.
group and then grab it and pull it inside instead of like taking it
Yes.
and put, which is not, that doesn't feel right. That literally does not feel right physically. And
No.
that's what's so much about what OUX is all about is like our brains have evolved in the real world in 3D, right? And then we break all these rules of what is intuitive. And there's nothing intuitive about going and getting inside the basket and then pulling the egg in. Like you like just take the egg and put it in the basket.
And like, look at all this real estate on this page. I'm sorry, but do I need this large power is on button and like all this white space here? Where, I mean, I would love to know that where this is at.
Yeah. What group is it at? And then add to group right there. Like
And
that is the fix right there. Is we're looking at
yes,
it and you see the group and it has the little icon next to it. And we've got the icon. This is a light too, which we're missing here. So we keep our icons consistent and we carry them through everywhere we're showing the thing. And then right here, like be able to like add to group.
absolutely.
Yeah. So to recap here, is that everything? Have you? Is there anything else?
I mean, I'm sure that those are the main ones that I wanted, like the main things I've run into that frustrate me of it. And like the all of, yeah. I mean, I'm glad we found all of them. We found masking. We found isolated. We found broken. And we found the shape
They're
shifting.
all
So much
working
shape
together to
shifting.
create a really shitty experience.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
like we always want to say, if you are the designer or you know a designer of this,
Yes.
we'd love to talk to you, but also like our hearts go out to you. Likely you were set up to fail. You were set up to fail
Yes.
because probably you were working in small, myopic tickets or sprints. You were working at a page by page level. There was a lot of silos. Nobody was talking to each other and nobody was talking about these things, right? Like having the tools to be able to connect the dots and break down those silos is so important. And that's what OUX really helps you do. So, I mean, I think like the biggest fail here, if I have to say, and I want to hear what you think, is the
Hmm.
isolated objects here.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Because connections are so important here of like these things relate
yeah,
to each other in the real, like I think of it this my light, I picture the rooms with the lights in a group and that's how I'm thinking about it. And there I can't interact with them like that. And routines. Yeah. Like I can't do those same things in the same spot that, oh, yes.
And I mean, if we coming back to like, I started getting on the business case for this, but like with the masking, like masking, there's a trust issue there. So like whenever we have masking and shape shifting, the trust goes down for the system and for the brand actually. So in my like, I feel like I trust Amazon less. This whole idea of a smart home making me feel dumb, that does not give me a good feeling toward this brand, which of course the brand wants that, right? They want you to trust them and they want you to love them. And the best way for a brand to get you to love them is to make you feel smart and make you feel powerful. And to that point of the isolated objects were the things that are connected in your, not only your mental model, but like in reality of your home are not well reflected here, so that you can't go in and feel like you can create magic, right? Like if Amazon could help you do that, to help you like create magic within your home and impress your friends, yes, you would be buying more things. Your friends that would like, y'all host a lot of stuff, a lot of parties, you have people over, like you would be recommending it more. And this is literally like little things like this that cost actually no more money, right? To develop it the right way. I mean, these are all pixels, right? Like, I mean, sometimes you need to think a little bit more, but to save time in the long run. And then they're just leaving money on the table because of you not being able to create that magic, which is like all the technology is there. The technology, this is what really fires me up, like to go back to Spotify. Like the technology is amazing. The fact that you can listen to all these songs, like, and the technology is amazing on what we can do. Like we're not living in the Stone Age, but why does it feel like it? Like we're living in the time where we can actually do all these things, but we're being literally the user experience has not caught up to the ability of what the technology can do.
No,
Um,
no. How long have we had smart devices? I feel like at least, I don't
yeah.
know, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. Like we've had smart light bulbs and stuff. And I would be the biggest proponent of like I would use these all the time. Like we have a Halloween party and we try to change all of our lights to like different colors. It is, I like hate the idea of trying to figure out how to do it in this app. And I've tried it. And I think the biggest thing for me is the broken objects and not being efficient. I can't just pop in here and be really, I mean, there's multiple things that are adding to it not being efficient, like those shape shifting. I can't rely on my recognition of things to quickly do something, but those actions of being able to take things in certain spot, like, oh, it is not a love. I dread opening it up. So Amazon, fix
and this
this.
should be such
Please
a
fix
fun
this.
thing. Like like it
Right?
has such,
It's play.
it
It's
should be play
playful.
and like design and making that. I love that you said like my home could be magic. And
Yes.
like at some point maybe it feels like it, but setting it all up, like
Oof.
not
I
magic. You do
hate
not
it.
feel like this like fairy conductor making magic within your
No.
home, which
No.
would be amazing. And like just really coming back to the business case for that, like, oh my gosh, would be amazing for Amazon. So
Yep.
all right. That was a good one, Allie. That was a really good one.
Oh, I'm glad I got to get that off my
Oh
chest. This one has been
yes.
bothering me for a while. Oh, and I'm glad we know, like, yeah, what about it is so frustrating. It really helps having like just the names for these things. And I really like, yeah, going in and seeing, okay, I know that's a shapeshifter because then I know how to fix it. I don't know. For all you UX designers out there, like that's the piece that allows me to know and feel so confident coming in and being like, I know how I can fix this. These are like, we don't need to go do research. We don't need to like these are just low hanging fruit in my mind to make a better
Yeah.
experience, like going and interacting with it. So,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly. This is like
yeah.
we can, and we still want to do the research, but we can just save our research dollars for the stuff that's
Yes.
really important instead of being
Yes.
like, is this confusing? Because we already know it's going to be confusing. Like, we
Yes.
already know, like, we'll just go ahead
Yes.
and fix this, right? Like, it's going to be confusing.
Yes.
And then also
Yeah.
delivering something that you are confident. You're like, well, I didn't get as much user research as I wanted to. I only got 3 interviews, or I only got like the interviews that somebody did 6 months ago, or like we always
Oof,
end up
yeah.
with that, right? Where we're like, we have
Our research budgets always
the
get
research
cut.
budgets always get
So,
cut, but you can introduce them that you're like, at least I know there's no unintentional shapeshifting. Sometimes you do need shapeshifting. It's got to be intentional though. There's no unintentional shapeshifting. There's no masking where 2 different things look exactly the same. There's no isolating. You've mapped the connections in the user's mental model and actually the truth of the world, and you've reflected it. And there's no broken objects. People can directly manipulate the things. They can touch the thing,
Yes.
and all those calls to action make sense on there. And it feels very directly
Okay.
manipulable. So you can kind of like release things out into the world with a whole lot more confidence if you just know that you've hit all that really low hanging fruit.
Yes, and I love that, like, use that research budget for something else. Like, do card sorts and find the best terms for these things that resonate. But, like, yeah, you don't need to do usability testing to find out why this doesn't
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
We know why.
And that's really what this channel is all about. So we
Yes.
hope you really enjoyed this. And this was a little bit of a long one, but we had a lot to cover here, right?
Yes.
This was a quadruple hitter. So hopefully you learned a lot and enjoyed seeing us go through this. And again, all the love to the UX designers who worked on this. We know that you were probably up against it.
Yes.
So, but check out Entrepreneur UX and
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We will be coming out with videos. I'm not going to say it. We'll get into our rhythm. We'll get into our rhythm. But we'll see you back then. Cheers. Happy OUXing.
Bye.